The Ultralight backpacking cult has never been one to just blindly accept stats, specs, and figures of gear that they bring on their adventures. They're a fastidious bunch that religiously research each and every element of the gear that they bring in pursuit of that elusive 5-pound base weight. I brought a basic ultralight setup out on a backpacking trip here in Tennessee to test out the new NEMO Tensor Extreme Conditions. Now this is a slightly controversial pad. It's relatively new to the market and is causing quite a fuss in the backpacking community because of its claims. Those claims are the lightest warmth to weight ratio on the market. What it says is an 8.5 R value in a blisteringly low 17 ounces. This is a shockingly warm pad that still has an ultralight weight. So what that means is you can take this thing out on extremely chilly polar conditions or alpine missions while keeping a relatively low base weight. This is something that we really have not been able to do with anything on the market. Now, as a disclaimer, I have not been able to test this thing out in the conditions that it was designed for, but it is getting freaking chilly, like tonight. So I've been able to take it out in relatively cold temps and have been blown away. Now, 8.5 R value is not something that every backpacker is gonna need, right? This is for the extremist, for the person that's really, really pushing the limits on alpine missions, on winter polar expeditions, and needs the absolute highest R value at the lowest possible weight. So far, its competition can't even come close to it. The secret sauce to this has to do with an apex baffle construction. What that is 4 layers of thermal film suspended over trapezoidal trusses that run vertically throughout the pad. That allows each layer of film to free float on these trusses, which eliminates a couple of things. First, it makes it a good deal lighter because you don't have to weld them in place. And second, it makes this pad a lot quieter, which for anyone that slept on Neo Air X-Lite, that is a dream come true. The apex baffle construction allows heat that's coming from your body to be reflected back towards your body while also deflecting cold that's seeping in from the ground. And having 4 layers of that allows them to achieve such a high R value. One of the main qualms that I have with this pad is its relatively slim design. Some other pads like Xped's Dura 8R are comparable in warmth, but a little bit wider. And for a pad that has this warmth, I do want that extra bit of width because I'm usually wearing big, chunky jackets or a much larger, warmer sleeping bag. And a 20-inch width, having all of that extra insulation on you just makes it feel a little constraining. That actually ended up being quite a plus on one trip that I brought it on, which was a 5-day ascent of El Cap in Yosemite. For this trip, I was sleeping on a portaledge or sleeping on natural ledges, and the narrow width of this pad actually did come in clutch in that, well, sometimes the ledges were only a few feet wide and I didn't completely slip off in the middle of the night. So the slim profile does shave weight. It allows it to keep that nice low 17-ounce scale reading, but it is a little constricting. I'm freezing my butt off. I'm gonna get in my tent, go to bed, talk about this a little bit more once it gets a little warmer. All right, temps are a little bit better than the other night. This is probably my 8th or 9th backpacking trip with the Tensor EC, and objectively I do think it is one of the coziest pads out there. Not only for its incredibly high R value, it's super warm, but also just a very comfortable and quiet pad. For something that has so much technology in it, it is extremely quiet. This by far is the best pad as far as warmth to weight ratio goes. There's nothing on the market that touches it. And when you consider the amount of technology that's been put into this, its price point is relatively affordable. It also comes in a minuscule pack size. It really is extremely tiny. It's nearly as small as Thermarest's Neo Air NXT pack size, but has twice the R value and warmth. That is incredibly impressive. But let's talk about the pack size. It's probably my biggest con, and simply because I've got a long history with outdoor gear not fitting into its stuff sack. That alone frustrates the heck out of me. I truly do wish that a pad with this much tech and performance would easily deploy and roll back up into its stuff sack, particularly when you're gonna be using this in frigid temps where your fingers are numb. I really wish that they addressed it. It can't be that hard to make the pack size just a little bit bigger, and I think it would save a lot of hassle and frustration. The other gripes that I have with it have to do with the lay low valve construction. Now, it does a great job for what it is. It's a two-way valve, meaning as you inflate it, it's not gonna let air out if you take your mouth or the vortex pump sack away from the pad. But I just don't really like having the valve on the front, the face of the pad. I prefer something like the Neo Air's design where they have the valve on the side. That just makes it a little bit easier for inflation and deflation for me. Also, as you're deflating the pad, it's difficult to get that last bit of air out because you're rolling it up, and at that last roll, you're covering the hole, making it difficult for air to escape. One thing that happened on a couple of trips for me is I went to slowly deflate and regulate how firm the pad was at night, and I ended up pulling both of the valves out of the sleeping pad, deflating it completely, and I fell to the ground. That's not something that you want to do at midnight on a freezing cold night. They do make micro adjustments really easy. All you got to do is take the top one off and push down on the valve inside. It's very easy to do, but unfortunately, these two tabs are really close together and it's easy to actually grab the wrong one, pull it out, and deflate to the ground. Another issue that I have with this pad is how relatively slippery the face fabric is, particularly when you think about how narrow it is. I really wish there was a bit more grip on the face and even on the bottom. In light of what this pad accomplishes, however, those cons are pretty trivial. All right. Finally got to take the famous Tensor into some temps that it's actually designed for here in Lake City, Colorado. Temps got into like 8 to 9 degrees last night, and it is extremely warm. It's doing what it was designed to. Unfortunately, still not the Arctic temps that it was designed for, but we're getting closer. And the more I use this thing, the more impressed I am. Now, a lot of people were talking about hot air escaping on the sides through their baffles because that metallic film is not along the sides of the pad. But to be honest, I didn't really experience any of that. It kept me nice and toasty, and temps were plummeting. The wind is insane. And honestly, it was just one of the most cozy pads I've ever slept on. 17 ounces for the temps that this can handle, unbelievable. Now, if I was gonna do the CDT or the PCT again, this is probably the pad that I would at least ship ahead to the San Juans, to the Sierras, if I knew I was gonna be hitting significant snow. In 2021, I went through the San Juans, actually just south of here, and it was a complete whiteout. It was in early May. We hit some crazy storms, and I was just on my little Thermarest Neo Air, and I was freaking chilly, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I survived, but those nights were cold. If this pad was on the market, I would have been able to maintain my ultralight base weight, ship this ahead, pick it up in Pagosa Springs, and rip into the mountains with it. That would have been the freaking move. For all you future thru hikers, if you're planning on hitting some serious snow in the Cascades, Sierras, San Juans, Wind River Range, and Glacier, I would highly recommend this. It would allow you to keep that 5 to 10 pound base weight while still hiking through ridiculously cold temperatures. Honestly, a phenomenal pad. I'm gonna be testing this out more and more. Hopefully I'll be able to take it into some colder conditions. I do have some mountaineering trips planned in the future. I'll be updating the review as I go, but so far, color me impressed.